Alrighty, in today's video, we're going to be talking about 1.4, division with whole numbers. Alrighty, so let's kind of just jump right into it. You will see problems that look like this. 28 divided by 7. You can do this in a few ways. One, you can go, all right, how many times does 7 go into 28? And you can do 7, 14, 21, 28, and that's great. And you can see that the answer would be, again, you can go 7, 14, 21, 28, and go, all right, that answer must be 4. That'd be great. It does get harder, and I'll show you different ways to go about that, but that's what this basically is. Another way you could see it is 42 divided by 6. And you can go, all right, that's 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and 42. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 can go into 42 7 times. You might see in a sense that it might be 57 divided by 57, and you can make your list and go, all right, well, it did it one time. And you might see it again like this, where 86 divided by 1. And hopefully you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and keep going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep going. And hopefully you notice you'll write 86 numbers because 1 can go into 86 times, right? And there's different processes here. The reason that this works is anything divided by 1. So again, anything divided by 1 is just going to be itself. So again, this is just called division by 1 is always going to be itself. This one here is called division by itself. Will always equal 1. So anything divided by itself will always give you 1. All right. Now, the next tricky part here comes into play when we talk about division of 0. And there's two ways to look at this. If you have 0 divided by 7, that's 0. If you have 7 divided by 0, this is called undefined. You can never have 0 as the divisor. Best way I've done this in my classroom is 0 divided by k is 0, and n divided by 0 is undefined. Now what I did here is 0 divided by k looks like okay, so it's good to go. It can be 0, but n divided by 0 is no, not good, and it's undefined. Whatever helps you remember, if 0 is on the bottom or the divisor, you cannot divide it, and it'll end up being undefined. So looking at some of those, if I look at 29 divided by 0, 0 cannot go into 29, and it would be undefined. Right? But if I have 0 divided by 8, 8 goes into 0 0 times. So 0 can't go into things, but nothing can go into 0, if that makes any sense. All right, let's look at some more. Those are just special cases. This is the type that you would typically see. And it's going to ask you to divide 415 divided by 6. And the way this works is you could do 6, 12, 18, but you might be there for a while. So we have a concept called long division to help you out. You take the first number and you put it inside of what I like to call the house. Then you take the number that you're dividing by, the second number, and you put it on the outside. And you go through the process. Does 6 go into 4? No. Does 6 go into 40? Hopefully you go, well, yeah, it goes into it at least 6 times, almost 7, but at least 6. So then once you figure that part out, and that part, you can do this 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. And then when it gets 42, it went too far. So that means it's only 6. So that part makes it still pretty doable, but 6 times 6 gives me 36. So then I need to subtract how far away I was from going up another number. So 41 minus 36 just gives me 5. I was one number away. Then I would drop down the remainder number and you would go through this process again. And so I'd keep going. So 42, 48, 54. All right, I can go to 60 if I want, but I can see that I would stop here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'd write a 9 there. And then I would go, all right, well, 9 times 6 I can see is 54. So 55 minus 54 gives me 1. And in this case, we're not doing decimals. So you would say the answer is 69. And what they like you to do is say, with a capital R, remainder of 1. So this is 69 with 1 left over to almost be 70, right? So that would be how they want you to write that final answer. All right, let's look at another one. So I have 340 divided by 16. I want to drop the 16, put 340 in the house. Ask myself, all right, 16 goes into 34, so it's 16, 32, 40, 48, and I go, all right, it stops there. So it goes into it twice. 2 times 16 ends up being 32. 30, not so plus, minus. 34 minus 32 is 2. Drop down the 0. I can see that I can only go into it one time. So 1 times 16 is 16, and then 20 minus 16 is 4. There's nothing left, so that will be my remainder. So I'll do R4. So I got 24 with the remainder, 21 with the remainder of 4. Let's look at a few more. All right, number 5, it's already going to be set up for you, ready to go. All right, so this is going to be 31 into 9. Doesn't happen. 31 into 95. All right, so I'll go 31, 62, 93. I can go one more, but I can already see it's not going to go further. So I'm going to go 3. So 3 times 31 is 93. That gives me 2. I'm going to drop down only the 7. But I see that 31 does not go into 27, so I'm going to put 0 in that placeholder because it doesn't go into it. And I'll drop down the 1. So now I got to go, all right, how many times does 31 go into 271? So then I would keep going. 93 plus 31 would be 124. And then 31 plus that would be 155. Then 186. And that would be, see, 1 and 6 gives me 7. 8 and 3 is 11. Carry 1 is 217. Then that would be 248. And that would be, so that's a 9, 279, which goes too far. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then I would say, all right, well, 8 times 31 is 248. Oh, that's a 9. I'm using all my skills, so I'm going to have to borrow. 11 minus 8 is 3. 6 minus 4 is 2. And then that right there goes away. So I have a remainder of 23. The notice I had to use addition, I had to use my subtraction techniques, my multiplication techniques. All things are being utilized as we have progressively moved on. All right, let's look at another one. We have 7 divided by 186. So 7 doesn't go into 1. 7 goes into 18. I can see 2 times. So 2 times 7 is 14. 18 minus 14 is 4. Then I got 6, and then I can go, all right, well, that's going to be 28, 35, 42, 49. So that's as far as I can go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 7 is 42. Subtract the 4, so that's my remainder. So I have 26 with the remainder of 4. And then as always, it's never homework unless there's a few word problems. So let's go over a couple of them that you'll see. On number 7, it says, show that 26 and 68 are factors or divisors of 1,768. Best way to do that, or really the only way to do that, is you're going to take this 1,768 and divide each of them to see if you end up with no remainder. So what I'll do is I'll start with 26 first. 26, where I can't go into 1, can't go into 17. Let's look at 176. We got 26, 52, 78. Let's see, 6 and 8 gives you 14, 9, 104. That makes sense. Yeah, that's 22 away from 100. Yep. And then that right there would be 130. And then 156. And then we go into 182. That'd be 7. Yep. And then I went too far. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 26 is 156. I can see that that will be 20. Drop down my 8. And then now I have to keep going. So 182 plus 26 is going to be 108. I lied. 208. And I can see it does go into it evenly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then when I get that remainder of 0, I just proved that 26 is a factor since I got a remainder of 0. So now we just got to prove the 68. So we'll do that as well. So 68, 1768. Let's see. So 68 plus 68, that would be 136. And if we add 68 to that one, 204. So I can see it goes into it at least twice. Gives me 136. Remainder of 40, drop down the 8. So then I would go, all right, how many times does that happen? So I'd go, that would be 272. So that'd be 0. And that would, so that gives me 10, carry over the 1, that'd give me 14. That's 340. And then that'd be 408 right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with no remainder. There you go. All right, next type of problem you could see. It's going to say it costs 1,428 for a group of 6 friends to rent a beach house for a week. How much will each person pay? So again, it costs $1,428 for a group of 6 friends to rent a beach house for a week. If they divide it equally, how much would each person have to pay? So we do 6 with the total price here and go through our process. So 6 goes into 14 2 times. 14 minus 12 is 2. Drop down the 2. So I can see that 6 goes into 22 3 times. 22 minus 18 would be 4. Drop down the 8. So I can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6 goes into 48 8 times evenly. So that means that the bill would be split, or not, yeah, the bill will be split for the beach house for $238 per person. All right, and that's pretty much all you'll see in 1.4. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.